So let's get started. Good afternoon, everybody. Um, Welcome to this Sylvania lighting seminar that we bring to you in collaboration with our technology partner, Silvair. My name is Balázs Botond. I'm program manager for digital solutions and services at Sylvania. And at first, I'd like to thank for the so many of you taking the time out from your daily business and joining this webinar today. We're excited to share with you our views about how about the changing role of lighting in buildings and how our solution delivers rich and actionable insights and what new opportunities it can offer. Today's webinar we planned for 60 minutes and it will consist of 3 parts. In the first approximately 20 minutes, we'll have our technology expert Eva Spohn, who is the product manager at Silvair, explain about how the system works, how to put it all together, sharing hints on prerequisites and preparations needed. And in the second part, our smart lighting expert Edward Lees, who's the head of technical product development for digital solutions and services at Sylvania Lighting, will elaborate on how the implementation goes, what the key foundations are, how to exploit these business opportunities, and he will be sharing specific use cases and real examples as well. Finally, in the third part, of course, in the last 20 minutes, we look forward to responding to your questions. Please feel free to type them into the chat window during the presentations. We'll pick the questions from there. So I think that's pretty much it. Before getting straight into it, just 3 more bits of information. Please do keep yourself muted throughout the presentation so you can all hear the speakers well. For our French-speaking guests, you shall be able to follow French subtitles at the bottom of the screen throughout the presentations. We trust the quality of the automatic translation by Microsoft will allow a good follow-up or at least an okay understanding. And lastly, with your consent, staying in the call, we're recording this session today, so we'll be able to share the content with you after this very soon. So I think that's all. Let's get started and find out how to unlock the intelligent building. Let me hand it over to you, Eva, first.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Great. First mission accomplished. I'm going to share my my presentation with you. So welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for making the time to attend this webinar. Over the next 20 minutes or so, I'll be talking about how at Silvair we're building the foundations for intelligent buildings. So I'll be talking about how we're building the foundations for intelligent buildings, how we're approaching this field, which is evolving fast, and how we see our offer developing in the future. So as many of you will know, technology is only an enabler. And as a technology provider, Silvair is dependent on what our partners do with what we provide. So I'm very pleased today that we can, together with Ed Lees from Sylvania, talk about talk about what we've offered and how Sylvania has approached building a solution for their customers based on the foundations we've provided. Please, could you give us the next stage? Before I can do that, though, I need to give you a brief recap of the evolution of Bluetooth, as this is what underpins everything that we're going to be talking about today. So initially, about over 20 years ago now, we saw Bluetooth Classic, which is the Bluetooth that we're all familiar with. It's what we use for for streaming music over headphones to your car radio. It's a one-to-one connection, and it is continuous. And for pretty much around 20 years, this is what was available, and it worked really well. It worked so well, in fact, that you don't need to think about whether your Sony headset will pair with your iPhone or your various Samsung Android phone or whatever. It just does. It just works. And I'll talk a bit about why that is and how that's happened in a minute. And then about 13 years ago, we saw the introduction of Bluetooth Low Energy. So this is based on the same underlying technology, the same underlying radio, but it allows communication in a different way. It allows communication over short bursts. You don't need to have a permanent connection. You can connect for a short burst and transfer information. And this is where we saw the growth in the number of fitness devices, various peripherals. We saw the use of beacons that enabled wayfinding, finding location, gathering information about devices. And this is something we've observed over the last 10, 13 years. And the latest evolution in the Bluetooth technology is Bluetooth mesh. So this is a way of using Bluetooth that enables you to build large networks of devices. It's been designed for building automation, and it enables large networks of sensors, asset tracking, and a whole bunch of other uses that we're still exploring. And that's what Silvair has based what we've based our business on. Next slide, please. So Bluetooth is huge. And this is, for us, this is something, we don't talk about this very often, but for us, this is a hugely important feature, factor for why it's so suitable for use in intelligent buildings around the world. So Bluetooth is a membership-based organization, over 37,000 members. They decide on how the standards develop. They donate their IP to Bluetooth. So when you create a Bluetooth device, you license that IP. You're covered for that IP, and as a user, you're covered to the owners of that IP, which is something that we don't often think about, but it becomes important when you start looking at other alternative technologies where the IP is owned by someone else. The numbers are also staggering. By 2026, we'll have 7 billion Bluetooth devices shipped annually. So it's popular and it works. It's the fastest growing wireless standard out there, and it's recognized around the world. It's in every phone has a Bluetooth radio, and it can communicate over Bluetooth. So the other thing I'd like to emphasize, over that time, the 24 years, Bluetooth has really refined and mastered the art of certification and qualification of devices. So testing devices to make sure that they meet the standard and that they can communicate out of the box, which is the reason you don't need to worry about whether your Android phone will talk to your Ford car radio. Next slide, please. So when we talk about Bluetooth mesh and qualified Bluetooth mesh, in our view, it has it all. It's been designed for the needs of commercial buildings, initially for lighting, but it will be expanded to other building services. And from the offset, it was designed to be interoperable, drawing on the experience of Bluetooth of creating interoperable devices. This experience has been used to create a program of certifying qualified software and qualified devices. It's been built to be scalable. You can have thousands of devices on a Bluetooth mesh network with no challenges. It's designed to work at that kind of scale. There's no one point of failure. So there's no one central controller. There's no one gateway that will control everything. The logic is distributed, which means that every node has the logic programmed into it, and it knows what to do based on certain triggers, whether it's from a sensor or a time, a clock. It knows how it's meant to behave. Security is baked into the protocol. So there's no way of certifying a Bluetooth mesh device without having implemented all the security standards and the authentication methods. And these standards and methods are public. Anyone can audit them. Anyone can question them, challenge them, and see that any security holes have been addressed, which, as far as I know, hasn't happened yet. So I mentioned before, Bluetooth is found in every mobile device, which means that any device can act as a programmer or a commissioning device. And then the communication itself is fast and low power, and it's several times faster than DALI, which most of you will be familiar with, and Zigbee and Z-Wave as well. So for us, it's the ideal solution. So in short, a network based on qualified Bluetooth mesh is a wireless network of devices that communicate using this protocol. They have very low latency communication. It's fast. It's configured with a mobile app. It's highly secure. Each message is encrypted several times, which means that it's very difficult. It hasn't yet happened. Difficult to hack into these networks. There's no central controller. All the logic is stored in the nodes, and each device publishes its status with various frequencies, and that message is propagated across the network. And this device status can be the lighting level, the light level. It can be the sensor, the PIR status, whether it sees occupancy or not. It can be an ambient light level. It can be temperature. It can be humidity. It can be a whole range of parameters that once it's published, depending on how you set it up, it gets published and propagated across the network. And then, of course, Bluetooth works without the need for an internet connection. So if the internet to the building goes down, the network, the lighting carries on working, and what you lose is the ability to get the data from the network if you've connected a gateway to the device, but you don't need a gateway in the network for the network to work. The tongue twister, right? So why does this matter? So what we're seeing, and I'm sure you're all seeing as well, is that we see in the commercial lighting or in the commercial building industry, in fact, we need digital transformation on all levels, whether it's the practice of facilities management, whether it's how we manage and use buildings, how we report building performance with ESG, increasingly required ESG programs. They all require they all require digital transformation, and they're dragging the building industry with them on every level. And there are three really key challenges. One is to create a specific experience of the people using the building, whether it's comfort or managing occupancy and making sure that people can get to where they need to be, or have the space that they need to do their work. Generating the right financial result for the stakeholders, whether that's increasing revenues through enhancing rentability or managing costs, and then making a contribution to the urban ecosystem through compliance with local and national regulation. And this is I was going to say a whole mess. It's a whole, it's a very complex set of needs. And when we talk about intelligent buildings, I'm often asked, what is an intelligent building? And the quote I found that I like the most is that intelligent buildings meet this mass of needs better than dumb buildings. And that's where I think what we're doing with Sylvania and at Silvair is contributing to meeting these needs. So the drive for intelligent buildings, I've touched on a few of them, but there are 5 key trends that are driving this whole conversation. One, and I think top of the list, is the need to decarbonize their economies. We need to use less energy in our buildings, so we need to know where we're wasting it, where we need it, and where we don't need to be using it. We're also seeing changing working patterns, particularly after the pandemic. People are less less willing to come back to work. Buildings need to fulfill slightly different needs, and expectations are changing. So now people not much younger than me now expect to be able to do everything via their phone. And that's not just at home, it's also at work. Expectations are changing, that you can interact on a much more personal level with everything around you. How buildings are built, managed and operated is changing. So, and again, this is happening at the design stage, at the building construction stage, and also at the operation stage, with the growth of technologies such as BIM, digital twins. Construction management is becoming much more digitized, and it's all based on the data and on software. So software underpinning all of this is that software and the internet is becoming much more ubiquitous and much cheaper to implement, and that's actually creating a whole bunch of very exciting new approaches that are driving the adoption of intelligent buildings. Next slide, please. So if we go back to talking about digital transformation in real estate, what really underpins it is having access to accurate data across all buildings, in all sectors. And as it would be more obvious to you than it is even to us, is that lighting is the perfect infrastructure for this kind of satisfying this kind of need. It's evenly distributed across a building. It's essential, and it can act as the building's nervous system. So you can use it not only to control the lighting, but to pass data around the building and get it where it needs to be. Bluetooth mesh and networks based on Bluetooth mesh give you the ability to generate that data, gather it easily, and transport it efficiently and securely. As I mentioned, it's a fast and secure network, protocol and network by extension. So it gives you the ability to take this data. And as an open standard managed by Bluetooth SIG, it's future-proof. The members of Bluetooth are the people who drive the evolution of the Bluetooth mesh standard. If there's something that is missing in the standard, then it's a clear and straightforward and actually relatively quick process of getting it introduced. And the standard is pretty flexible. So it's open to evolution, and it can be adapted as needed to fit the needs. So that is a big plus. So the challenges that are faced by owners and operators and facilities managers is that the world they're facing is changing rapidly. Facilities managers in particular have to accomplish a huge rate and keep a whole range of people happy, from the occupants to the operators to their own staff who have to maintain and manage these buildings, to the building owners who are also expecting a range of set a range of targets for them. And there's a big struggle to fulfill for the building owners, particularly asset managers, who have to fulfill increasingly detailed environmental reporting requirements. They have to take data from silos. All this data kind of exists, but it's in silos that are difficult to access, and that silos that don't talk to each other. So one example is, the sensors, the temperature sensors for the occupancy sensors for lighting are not the same occupancy sensors that are needed for or that are used for HVAC. There's no reason why they can't be. It's just historically they've been installed by different teams, designed by different groups of engineers, and it's not integrated. And what is, I think, obvious is that there's no one silver bullet that will address all these needs. So the needs of a facilities manager working in a hospital will be completely different to the needs of a facilities manager working in a set of across a set of offices or a school or in retail. So all of these needs, all of these users have different needs. So to address the challenges, what we need to do is to connect these silos, provide access to real-time data, and enable integration between software applications from different vendors that are used to address the needs of these various users, all the while remaining open to new things, new ideas, new possibilities arising. So now we get to the crux of the question of what is an API and why are APIs important here? Well, an API is an interface that allows two computer systems or software applications to communicate easily. Machines, they don't like ambiguity. They need to have something that is constant and unchangeable. And what an API does is it provides an abstraction of what's going on underneath. So an example of an abstraction is in your car is the speedometer. So you don't need to know exactly how each wheel in your car, what speed it's, how many RPM it's going at. All you need to know is that the car is traveling at 100 kilometers an hour, and you know that that's too much or that's not enough. So the speedometer is an abstraction of the speed. You don't need to know how it calculates your speed. You just need to know what's on that dial. An API does the same sort of thing. So it tells you, gives you the data that is needed by another system to do whatever that other system needs to do. A good API understands what it is that these other systems want to do and makes it quick and easy to integrate. And it's also flexible enough to allow new use cases and new applications. So examples of the APIs that we offer here at Silvair at the moment, the ones that are in black with the green dots are the ones that we have currently, and the ones in gray are the ones that we're working on. So we offer APIs that are, once you set up your network, your Bluetooth mesh network using the Silvair platform or the SilSmart platform, and you add a gateway, you can access these APIs. They allow you to do things like schedule lighting events, and these are apart from scenes, these are also changes in scenarios, such as before 6 a.m. we want occupancy control. After 6 a.m. we want fully automatic daylight harvesting, like that kind of setting. You can download energy consumption, historic energy consumption, 15-minute averages for up to 2 years in the past. You can obtain the same for occupancy up to 3 months in the past. You can monitor light levels and sensor status in pretty much real time. See what see what dim level you've got on each in each group, in each zone, and you can control the lighting system. And in future, we're going to be introducing an API to allow you to monitor hardware faults, so D4I fault codes. Another one to allow you to reconfigure and repair the network without having to go on site. An emergency lighting testing API that allows you to trigger and gather emergency lighting test results, and environmental APIs that allow you to take data from non-lighting sensors such as temperature, humidity, carbon dioxide pressure, and others as they become available. Thank you. So I'm just going to run quickly because I can see I'm eating into Ed's time. So a couple of examples of what we've done what we've built on top of these APIs. So these are examples of applications, and they can, and anyone who has access to the APIs can build their version of these applications. So we have one application that allows you to see how energy use changes through the day in your building. You can see which zones use the most energy, use the most light. Got it? You can calculate the energy savings. So by inputting pre and post retrofit energy consumption for each type of luminaire, you can calculate how what savings you've achieved, and using the data that has been gathered so far since you started monitoring, you can project and predict the savings over the course of the year, and that gets updated as you get more data. Thank you. You can reconfigure and control the light levels remotely to ensure the optimum performance of your network. This is a bit cheeky because this hasn't been released yet. We're still working on this one. Next one. And you can identify occupancy patterns. So you can use the PIR sensors in your network to simultaneously control lighting, which they do anyway, but also gather that data and use it to see how often a given zone and during what time, what periods during the day it's occupied. We're working on a system health dashboard that allows you to check what faults are being displayed in your various devices. And then we have, those examples are what we offer and what we will offer. And we're absolutely thrilled that Sylvania have chosen to take our APIs and build their own solution on the basis, and that's what Ed's going to be talking about in more detail in a minute. Next one, please. So just to summarize what I've said is that software and digitalization is key to changing how we build and operate commercial buildings, and it requires a new way of doing things. It requires blending data from various silos in the building, various silos of building services and others that are just currently not connected and have not been designed to be connected. But this is the only way forward if we're to achieve the goals that we need to achieve. And our view is that this needs to be done through APIs. The simplest way of doing this is through APIs, as they offer flexibility, simplicity, and allow you to build solutions for the specific site and the specific application you're working on. So that's it from me. Thank you very much. I'll hand over to Ed now. We'll take questions at the end, I guess.
Exactly right. Just put it into the chat window.
Oh, wonderful.
Over to you, Ed.
Indeed. Do my little bit of setting up. Okay, can you just confirm you can see my screen okay?
Good.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Eva. Hello and welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us again. My name is Edward Lees. I'm the Head of Technical Product Development for Digital Solutions and Services at Felo Sylvania International. So let me show you how Felo Sylvania is harnessing the power of the APIs provided by our technology partner Silvair to create rich insights and deliver value-added services, and how they are changing the role of lighting as an infrastructure in the intelligent building. Let's go to slide 2, hopefully. There we go. Okay, so first of all, let me set the scene of what challenges we aim to tackle. There are 4 big changes happening in society, some of which Eva has mentioned before. But fundamentally, lighting has a critical role to play in each of all of these areas. First of all, climate change and how we all respond to it. Lighting plays a major role in energy management as a major energy user in a building. We also have social changes. We spend 90% of our time in buildings. Our buildings must work harder to deliver for us and for our working environment. We want to ensure that we get the best light in the right place and for the right amount of time. However, we also must look beyond energy efficiency alone and consider the human element and how we can have far greater implications on operating costs above just utilities and the building fabric itself. So as you can see here, the cost of employees as a measure of the total cost of a building is significantly larger than the cost of utilities. A 1% reduction, or should I say improvement in productivity of people, is larger than a 50% energy saving. We also have to consider digitalization and the IoT. I mean, we've seen the industrial revolution, the silicon revolution, the data revolution, and we're heading at speed into the next revolution, which is that the modern building, big and small, is increasingly intraconnected and interconnected. We also see more and more demand for sustainability and managing our fragile resources. It's becoming of greater importance every single day. New legislations and certifications place a significant focus on this. Lighting is a pervasive, ubiquitous, and numerous infrastructure in a building and can significantly impact CSR and ESG plans. And there's a real appetite for the digitalization of our buildings to make them more intelligent. If we look at software and services and service solutions, they take a growing and larger stake of the intelligent building market. Sylvania's research also shows that lighting is a top 3 key investment area and is a very low-hanging fruit in terms of delivering very good energy efficiency very quickly with minimal disruption. Now, if we look at how people want to spend their money on more intelligent services, there's a wider array of other services and new propositions which building owners and key stakeholders are aiming to achieve in their intelligent building. So above energy management, for example, there's space analytics, environmental sensing data, and even location-based services. So how do we enable all of these new features and functions? Well, at Sylvania, it all starts with making that transition to an intelligent building, make it easy, make it painless. And we do this through helping our customers to start their digitalization journey by delivering a well-designed, high-quality, optimized lighting solution as the foundation of their intelligent building. So it all starts with a powerful multifunctional sensor that we built into every single one of our luminaires and is built on qualified Bluetooth mesh technology. This powerful multifunctional sensor, which we call SylSmart Connected, is a wireless lighting control solution for floor-wide and building-wide controls, which features our technology or Bluetooth mesh technology from our technology partner Silvair. And it's all embodied within a very compact device, which we integrate to every single luminaire, and we have a wide range of capabilities to deliver high quality, intelligent, and very precise lighting control. Then what we do is we install this technology through our lighting all over your building, and we maximize energy efficiency of our luminaires through this exceptional motion coverage. We can create granular control solutions and enable this to be rolled out quickly and effortlessly with no additional controls hardware or additional wiring. We deliver maximum comfort and efficiency with minimal disruption. And furthermore, we can exploit the high density network of sensors to gather rich, insightful data from each device and from the space and environment. We then leverage cloud and mobile application technology to make modern, intuitive, and rapid programming tools which take the pain of programming out of the equation, but also demystifies the ownership of intelligent lighting products. We can help you plan the configuration of your space many days, weeks, or months ahead of installation, and we can save it all to our cloud, meaning you can do 90% of the work from the comfort of your desk. When you're ready to implement onto the site, we use the mobile app to very quickly find the device in the building in situ and securely push the settings that were once stored on the cloud through to each device And then the very last step of this is to optimize our settings on site. And all of this combined brings savings in time on site, helps you control the costs, and minimizes the disruption to the end user. And from this, you get all the features you would expect from an intelligent lighting control system: occupancy control, light level and color temperature, daylight sensing, grouping and lighting scenes, but also a lot more. So it's faster to set up. It's more secure with this end-to-end and through life security concepts built in. It's easier to manage. It's more intuitive, user friendly, and also gives you better flexibility over time. But let me give you a few examples. So such quality, well-designed and optimized lighting yields exceptional energy savings, and it doesn't compromise on occupancy comfort. So here, one of our customers, Italian, their office is in Brussels. The client was saving 84% energy, and now they're ready for their next step in the digitalization journey. So we have 120 qualified Bluetooth mesh devices installed, 0 downtime. And another customer, as an example, Boverbos in Belgium, this was actually quite a much larger site, 773 qualified Bluetooth mesh devices, no central controller needed, and it yielded an exceptionally quick installation in 3 weeks, all commissioned by the installer, so no overtly skilled engineers required to program the system. And now the system is also able to be future-proof and upgradable and IoT ready. Now, not only in more commercial buildings, this is equally possible to do even in challenging environments such as car parks, industrial applications. And here, this is Voluve parking in the shopping centre of Brussels, where they also achieved an 83% energy saving with no rewiring, no dramatic changes in light levels in terms of delivering good quality of light, but a better improvement in the visual comfort. So now that we have these strong foundations of what a qualified Bluetooth mesh can really deliver, this is only really the beginning of the journey. Qualified Bluetooth mesh and the APIs that are enabled by our technology partner Silvair helps pave the way for new opportunities. So lighting will become the digital infrastructure of the building because of its unique set of characteristics. Lighting has become more than just light. Lighting has these unique attributes which can help change how you perceive the role of lighting in your intelligent building. Number one, lighting is powered. It's a widely distributed power infrastructure throughout a building, taking power to all areas needed. And we can use this powered infrastructure to power devices all over the building. Secondly, luminaires have a location, and that location is shared with humans. We see them, they see us, so they share the environment with us. Second of all, they have a fixed location, and this opens up a world of opportunities for environmental data acquisition, as well as location-based data acquisition, and also for service delivery back into the space. Now, over the years, we've seen that the LEDification of lighting has brought lighting into the digital world, and we've been experiencing the growth of new feature integrations into our lighting products. We use lighting controls primarily to help our customers to save energy. We use that energy saving as a means to pay for the hardware. Once the hardware is paid and the investment is recovered, then we can talk about new opportunities for the digital building enabled through lighting infrastructure. We can also make lighting easily connected. So here we use qualified Bluetooth mesh to create a wide array of connected devices and forming the backbone of the digital building to connect information from one side of the building to another and transport data very quickly and efficiently around. So on that note, we use qualified Bluetooth mesh, and we can collect a wealth of information from multiple sources. We can aggregate them and make them ready for transmission. Multiple data points can be packaged into Bluetooth qualified mesh data payloads and communicated securely over the high density network of luminaires. So we then backhaul the data quickly and reliably through a multi-path transmission, ensuring deep connectivity and resilience. We can share this with other systems securely and effortlessly. And we can then take that data and turn it into not just insight, but actionable, deep, rich data insight, paving the way to a world of new opportunity for intelligent buildings. We use a combination of REST APIs and WebSockets to acquire this wealth of data for both near real-time and historical data. WebSockets via the Silvair connected services enable a permanent connection to your building, empowering you to make decisions based on the very latest data and take control of your lighting and other connected assets to gain a maximum efficiency from each and every one of them. In the future, in many applications, customers will buy their lighting not just on their lighting quality, but on their service and data capabilities. So with lighting offering a powered infrastructure all over the building, combined with a fine mesh of secure and reliable communications created by qualified Bluetooth mesh, we now have a backbone for acquiring data from diverse ranges of devices all over the building to harvest a maximum of data and generate the best insights, all enabled by a single network, which can be easily deployed and easily managed. Okay, so as you can see, whether it is CO2 sensors, occupancy sensors, motion sensors, accelerometers, if they have a Bluetooth capability, we can harness that data at the edge of the system, quickly and effortlessly upload that data to our luminaires and use that fine grain network all over your building to carry that data over a single network back towards the internet and turn that into rich insight. And we can do this all over your building and backhaul that data to the cloud and or other systems. And using the Silvair APIs, we can effortlessly make the acquired data available for value-added services or to enable cross-system information exchange. So a new world of digital propositions is coming forward thanks to APIs. And allow me to show you the power of this data using SilSmart Connected Pro, Sylvania's cloud-based data service, which works on top of SilSmart Connected as a system. So using APIs, we can extract that wealth of data to deliver to you as value-added services, rich and insightful data. So first of all, as I mentioned, we install that robust infrastructure into your building quickly with minimal disruption thanks to SilSmart Connected. We enable that data acquired to be consolidated from all over your building into our cloud. Using the APIs, we can create a range of value-added services to help you save more money and make your building and business more efficient and more sustainable. We can make the APIs available as well so that we can share the data with other systems in an open and easily understandable format, enabling system integrations and interactions and a high level of holistic augmentations. So let's see what we can do with the data thanks to qualified Bluetooth mesh and the APIs. Well, first of all, we have global oversight to keep a watch over all your assets anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. We can visualize key data on your dashboard for multiple sites, or you can dive into a building and get finer oversight as a dashboard of asset performance You can get critical notifications of energy use, space use, all at a single glance. The high frequency of data ensures near real-time updates and up-to-date insights. We can also monitor assets individually and see them all holistically on one screen. With per-device metrics, we can gain the maximum insight from all over the building, which is key to a digital twin intelligent building. We can help you create your own views of devices through meta tagging to help you identify key groups and filters in other views. Very often, issues arise and we don't even know about them. We can get proactive notification of issues, but an intelligent building must do more. We can help identify not only the issue, but where the issue occurred and know what the issue is before calling an engineer. If we know what the issue is and where it is, an engineer can come once with the right tools and the right parts, saving money, minimizing downtime and disruption, and also saving needless fuel/carbon emissions. We can also offer an unparalleled insight into the energy use of devices. With highly granular per device insights, we can see, thanks to lighting and the collaboration of the DIIA and Bluetooth, that we can take the DALI 252 data and backhaul it with high efficiency and high frequency and turn that into actionable insight. First of all, comparing buildings, comparing timeframes, comparing areas and understanding the use can only be done with data and must be accurate data. Understanding and comparison are the first basis of savings plans. We combine this with other data points such as occupancy, lux levels, etc. And now you have the evidence to support strategies and make your own plans towards net zero. The vast array of motion sensors enabled by our luminaires featuring qualified Bluetooth mesh inside the luminaires can bring a whole new experience to an intelligent building and help you understand how your spaces are used, when, how frequently, and how efficiently. Yes. This data can be used to make our valuable building assets more efficiently used, ensuring meeting rooms are booked and, in fact, used. We can share the data with other systems and augment their efficiency. So, for example, with HVAC, we can ensure that the HVAC is turned off if the room is unoccupied. We can ensure the HVAC is increased if the occupation of that room increases to over 80%. There's a lot more we can do with this data when shared with other systems. Or we could influence cleaning costs by moving from a per hour contract to a per meter squared contract and not clean areas that haven't been used. Or consider, for example, an on-site canteen and only cooking to match the amount of occupancy levels in the building. So why would you cook for 80% of people if the building is only 20% occupied and save a whole lot of food waste? Now, cloud storage and low latency data enables the processing and delivery of compliance documents such as emergency lighting testing instantly. We can also enable near real-time notification of illegal intrusions anywhere in the building without the need for a security guard to move even an inch. If somebody is in a part of the building they're not supposed to be, we'll know about it thanks to the sensors. Our sensors and data can augment the performance efficiency of other systems. We can offer open APIs with a standard data set in a common format such as JSON, REST, making integrations quick and easy. The data can be used to employ new operational strategies, such as dynamic building management to impact building-wide savings. Existing systems can be enhanced through shared data, and that sharing of data in a modern intelligent building is pivotal to its success. Qualified mesh, combined with APIs, ensures its standardized approach, makes it easy to adopt, and is openly available. So we have a tremendous opportunity to deliver rich, insightful data from all over your building and paving the road to a world of new opportunities. So wherever you are in your journey to an intelligent building, it's a good place to start with, first of all, qualified Bluetooth mesh. But SilSmart Connected brings you the beginning of a journey which is easy to scale. You can start with one room, scale to a whole floor, a whole building, and it's ready to be connected and ready to deliver additional value. And when you're ready, you can make that very quick step up to a full connected and intelligent building at a moment's notice. So please come and talk to us. Please ask us any questions you might have, and let's see what we can all achieve together. Thank you very much for your attention, and I open the floor to any questions.
Thank you, Ed. Feel free to step in and unmute yourself and let us know if there's any questions, or just drop it into the chat. So we brought a lot of data and insights. Henk, you wanted to say something? You need to unmute yourself. 1 second, if I can help you.
Balázs Thomas speaking.
Hi, Thomas.
We had very nice presentations last week with Jose Carlos, so we don't need to have questions so far. I would like us to the agent team in Italy if they have any questions. So, cari agenti, se sentite questo messaggio potete parlare in italiano, fare le domande che volete e sarò molto lieto di aiutarvi.
Ciao Tommaso, sono Angelo.
Ciao Angelo.
Ma allora, io domande particolari non ne ho. Adesso vedremo quando vengono avanti quei 2 progetti che abbiamo fatto, cosa salta fuori e come verranno. Sicuramente verranno fuori delle questioni, ma io al momento domande particolari non ne ho.
Ok, ti manderò la presentazione per discuterne più dal vivo. Grazie per l'intervento.
Niente.
Okay. Henk, you wanted to say something? He was on mute, unfortunately. We couldn't hear you. We can't hear you yet.
Yes, maybe.
Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm trying to do that.
Le interdistanze tra I singoli
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, now we do.
Oh, you hear me? All right. In what way can be Leafy a competitor for the Bluetooth mesh technology in the future? Because thereby the data signal is included the lighting signal. Leafy.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. So this is, of course, my personal perspective on Li-Fi.
Yeah.
Li-Fi has some interesting use cases. However, in the commercial building, in the, let's say, industrial applications, I don't really see it as a direct competitor for more traditional radio-based technologies. And I say that for 2 reasons. Number one is line of sight. Li-Fi will only work with line of sight. So communicating, let's say, with a mobile device or with any other assets on the ground would have to have a good line of sight. And the second challenge, and this is a bit of a problem for lighting, one of our big targets for lighting is to turn the lights off. So our intention is to save energy as much as possible. Except if I turn the lights off, Li-Fi can't work. So there is a direct conflict between the two technologies.
I understand.
So at the moment, Li-Fi, I've understood it to be very good in very niche applications. So, for example, airplanes. So replacing the kilometers of fiber optic cable inside an airplane to disperse videos across every screen.
Yes.
That is easily replaceable by Li-Fi. Underwater communication, absolutely great for Li-Fi, but in the commercial building and the industrial space, not so much.
All right. Yes, I understand you. Thank you.
Okay. Just conscious of time. One more question here by Dennis. Which type of customer is using mostly your data today from the Connected and Connected Pro platform? Ed, if you can pick that up.
So we're seeing quite a diverse mix, and I think there's two things driving the use of data. Number one, of course, is the demands of energy reduction, decarbonization. So everyone wants to know, what do they need to reduce first? And I think everyone gets a bill every month, but doesn't understand where that consumption comes from. And having this rich and insightful data gives you, first of all, a good understanding of what am I using where. That is the first measure to making a plan towards net zero. And then we can work together to make those strategies towards net zero. The second thing that's driving more and more use, and I would say that the big areas at the moment we're seeing is universities, schools, hospitals, offices, and then second of all is industrial applications, so warehouses and manufacturing. Those are the big customers looking for that data from our side at the moment. And these guys are all driven by, one, the need for connectivity, to share data with other systems, but also, and as always with any motivation, it's law. So we've got changes in law happening in France, in Germany, in UK, and all of these are basically driving to the same thing: greater awareness of energy consumption, greater connectivity, and in terms of BMS especially, and driving behavior to reductions.
I just wanted to add from our perspective. Yeah, I am unmuted.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So from Silvair perspective, you know, obviously with Sylvania we're learning a lot, but we've also found that we've got a fair number of, particularly in the North American market, a fair number of ESCOs who offer a retrofit in exchange for the energy savings or the energy cost savings that they achieve. They like the tool very much, that allows them to demonstrate pretty quickly that they are actually achieving the cost savings that they promised they would achieve. It gives them a very good tool to communicate with customers. So it's not something we entirely expected, but it is a very welcome bit of feedback that we've got over the last few months.
Okay. Any final questions? Just conscious of time. I think we pretty much used our time and your time. Is there any final one? If not right now, I think we'll leave our contacts with you, so you can contact us anytime. Thank you very much for today joining and listening in and your engagement. We'll be sharing this presentation and the content with you, and we look forward to be in touch and help you on your journey and the next steps. Thank you, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Grazie mille.
Grazie mille.
Ciao. Grazie.